We're about to be.
This is Ethan Tingler, front tire changer for the 3-car Austin Dillon. You're listening to Back of the Pack podcast on Fantasy Focus. Hell yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Back of the Pack podcast live here on Fantasy Focus, brought to you by the original Hooters. Headed into the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ryan Levy here with Alex Freeman and my boy Bucky. How you fellas doing?
Doing great. Nice sunny weekend here in Chicago. Hope you guys have enjoyed a few days without racing, ready to get back to action.
Well, I'm just a guest in this house, so I take my shoes off immediately. I make sure I don't leave a crumb anywhere. I'm just here to make sure I hear what Freeman's bringing to the board for his monkey knife fight picks, because my goodness, sir, somebody arrest this man.
We're glad to have you, Bucky, man. We're glad.
I'm excited, man. I just refilled the silos over there on Monkey Knife Fight, so I got some cash to play with. I'm going to blindly follow Alex as always. I enjoyed the Xfinity race on, what was that, Thursday?
Thursday. Yeah.
Man, that was electric.
It was a little extra midweek action. They've got a quick turnaround while you have the Cup guys in action tomorrow, but Xfinity will be back this Wednesday, hopefully, with the Cup's second race at Chicago. Listen to me, Charlotte on Wednesday. So more back-to-back action for NASCAR coming up. Excited to see the trade and paint continue.
I mean, they were trading paint all night. That was such a crazy ending to the race and such a great story there with Briscoe. I mean, you got to just tip your cap to the guy overcoming something like that. And then obviously you're facing one of the best racers in the business, and and you go out and you beat him. That talk about one hell of a week for that man. You know, thoughts and prayers to him and his wife. But that must have felt so sweet and so meaningful for a lot of different reasons. I mean, that's what I love most about that. And, you know, Kyle Busch losing. So that's good.
Oh,
too.
That's right. It was just a perfect situation, a perfect happening of events. So I'm glad to see Briscoe in victory lane pulling off a big W against Kyle Busch. And these guys are going to continue racing against each other all year. So it'll be exciting to see how they compete. And again, we have a lot of action ahead of us. So a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. We were joking a little bit via group text there. I feel like I'm a real NASCAR fan now. I mean, I'm sitting on the couch like almost in tears. Like NASCAR was really tugging at my heartstrings there. And to see Kyle Busch, I mean, I've never rooted so hard against a driver before. You told me before the race he was minus 150 against the field, which is insane.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that in a while. I haven't seen against the field odds in an Xfinity race, and as long as I remember you and I talking about gambling and DFS insights. So it goes to show you how much the name carries in that series and how much his success really impacts the odds makings. And you put it into perspective here, while someone like Richard Petty won 200 races or more than that in the Cup Series, Kyle Busch has won more than 200 across all 3 series. So he's got a bunch of trophies. He's got a lot of W's across both the top 3 series, and for Xfinity specifically, he leads all drivers with the most wins ever. So he's a stud.
I got a question on Kyle Busch there. It just seems like he's hungry to race. It doesn't matter the format. It doesn't matter the car. There's something to be said for that, right? I mean, that's the thing that stands out most with Busch. What is his week to week like compared to, say, a driver that just races the Cup Series?
That's what a lot of people are like, hey, we don't want to do that because we don't want to be worn out. But it goes against, Busch goes against the grain and shows staying in the car and staying warm and staying ready and staying on top of your game, really keeps you in the winner's circle. So he's going to be running a number of races over the next few days. He ran both Cup Series races, the Xfinity race. He's going to run the both Cup races, of course, this week, but I'm not sure about confirming his entry in the Tuesday night race. But still, that's over 1,000 miles in the matter of 10 days. So, it's great to see him work across party lines, if you will. But other drivers that have had that kind of upbringing, like a Christopher Bell or a Kyle Larson, those kind of guys always were willing to drive anything with 4 wheels. So those guys have really had a lot of success in transferring it to the Cup Series.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Alex. Wasn't there a time last year when he won all 3? He won Xfinity, Cup, and Truck Series in the same weekend?
I don't think he did most recent last year. I know he has in the past. So he actually went at Bristol in the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series a couple years back. But I don't think he did last year.
That's insane, man. That's just talent. I guess he's conditioned and used to doing it. But we got Troy Cole joining us. Thanks for joining us, man. Giving some love to the Back of the Pack podcast crew here. Before we get into the race, though, gents, let's pick our drivers real quick if we can. We got 9 people in our pool again, so I'm going to start with Mr. Oliver, who was our champ last week. $20 ahead. So he's going to start with Jimmie Johnson. Give us some thoughts on Jimmie Johnson. I sent you a little stat there. This guy absolutely dominates at this track.
A lot of success on the deep track.
Yes, he does. So, back in the last few years, Jimmie Johnson really has owned this place. So, previous to, I'd say 3 years ago, he was winning one, if not both races here every year. I think he has 7 or 8 wins at this track, leading all active drivers. So it was a very symbiotic relationship. So he had a Lowe's sponsorship for a while, and that used to be known as Lowe's Motor Speedway. So he would go into that place and really and run that joint. Of recent, you've seen like the Toyotas come about and really have success because they're long run cars. They have that that advantage, it seems. So Jimmie Johnson's a good shot, a good bet if you're looking at this career statistics. But if you're looking at momentum and recent success, he's someone I would probably steer clear of for a win.
So you're telling me Denny's got a chance to go back to back here?
I think that
next up Bowman for me.
Yeah, all the top Toyotas and the Hendrick Motorsports cars all have a chance to be in Victory Circle, I think.
Love it. All right, so I got Bowman. Bucky, you're up next. You got Kyle Busch.
Oh man, you gotta love your enemy. You
might not like him, but you might like him if he's lying in your pocket.
Yeah, you like him on your team, but he's one of those guys you hate otherwise.
Yeah, he's a villain, and I like having a villain in the back pocket, and a damn good one.
Freeman, you got Poole, so not a great start for you.
All right.
Pick number 2. Boy Bloom here, big fan of the show. De Benedetto.
Benedetto is a good pick. He's someone that I can see a good value in a long shot for a top 3. He finished 2nd at Vegas earlier this year, and look, the track like Charlotte's very similar.
What are his current odds at if you have that handy?
Oh, I think I do. Let's see. De Benedetto. I would honestly I wrote down that he would be one of my picks, but as far as odds go, while you're looking for the next pick, I'll grab these odds, Levy.
Yeah, I got Root going with Joey Gaze, Rock with Joey Logano. So Rock, first time entering the NASCAR world with us. Jed,
wow.
William Byron.
De Benedetto 66 plus 6,600 to win.
Yeah, I figured
1,400 top 3. So he would be someone that I would put, a little bit down for a win, but hedge it with a top 3 finish because he's someone I think is going to overachieve.
I still like 1,400 on a top 3 there.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that, man. All right, so down at the bottom here, Dave Margulies is going to get back-to-back picks. So he's got LaJoy and Bubba Wallace. Back to Jed with Timmy Hill. Any love for Timmy Hill there, Freeman?
In the virtual world, maybe, but he's not the best equipment when it comes to actual race day. He's a very skilled driver. I think he's going to continue to climb the ranks, but for the moment, I don't think he'll catch himself a Victory Circle.
All right, so we got Rock with Sternhouse Jr., Roop with Cole.
Stenhouse.
Sorry, I always say Sternhouse.
He's keeping you sharp, Bucky.
Yeah. I mean, you did grow up in a Stern house, so I understand it.
Just making sure you're paying attention out there.
Yep.
Bloom's got your boy Matty Kenseth.
Oh,
Freeman back on the clock here with
It'd be a good one.
Reddick.
Okay. So Reddick is another guy that I'm looking at to have a good top 3, top 10 finish, heavier on the top 10, just because, again, it's just a long, drawn-out race that has the potential to ride the high side. He's a driver that can achieve up there.
Bucky on the clock with John Hunter Nemechek.
I'll take Nemechek.
I mean, if that doesn't sound like a NASCAR, he was born to be a NASCAR driver.
Oh, he was. He had generations that go back in the sport, so I'm glad he made it.
I love it. All right, I'm up here. I got Chastain. Not thrilled about it.
Anything can happen out there, Levy.
I know.
Keep your hopes high.
At the top, Ryan Preece for Bobo.
Preece has got his moments, but then he melts down.
Yeah.
And Michael McDowell on the way back.
I liked what I saw out of Preece for about one quarter of the race there.
Yeah, while he was up front, and then when he wasn't, you didn't.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Here we go. I'm on
Oh, who's that?
Truex. That's me, baby.
Oh no, that's my favorite right now. I think Truex is going to take the checkered flag and at least one stage win. He's going to be someone to watch out for.
He's been fighting like hell, man. He really has, and I think a result is right around the corner.
Yes. What about who is that? Jones?
Bucky got Eric Jones.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Freeman
Sleeper.
with Boyer.
Okay, I'll take Boyer.
I dig it. All right, almost done here. Bloom with Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon. So he's Austin Dillon's brother who won the race a couple years ago on strategy. So, hey, again, like Bucky said, anything can happen.
There you go. Rupert Blaney. Rock with Denny Hamlin. Like that pick. So he's got Logano and Hamlin. So I'd say he's the early favorite here.
Yeah, he's got two horses in the race.
Jed's got Chris Bell.
Chris Bell's someone that I'm looking at to achieve here for a top 10. Again, he's someone in the Rookie of the Year race. Hadn't had a lot of success of recent, but he had a strong finish here in the second Darlington race. Looking for a quiet but consistent day out of him.
All right, I like it. Margulies has got Amarola and Chase Elliott. I kind of like Chase today.
Yes, always pulling for Chase, no matter his colors, right?
Let's go, Kyle.
That's right.
Oh, shut up, Bucky.
Jed's got Keselowski.
Always had your back.
Let's rewind it about 11 minutes.
And coming down the home stretch here, Rupert with Suarez.
Yeah.
Some of the worst odds to win. Bloom's got the other Bush there.
That's Kurt for all those newbies.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Bucky.
Yeah.
Austin Dillon for Freeman, the 3-car baby.
The other Bush. You're such an asshole. Leaving.
Bucky's got Harvick.
Oh, you got Bush and Harvick? What is this?
I'm riding now, baby.
I've got Newman.
Okay.
And so that would leave, if anyone was really paying attention there to all of them, Yelly for Bo.
Oh.
As they say, I got some horses in the barn, right, Alex?
Oh, you got some. Your horses have more legs than ours. It's not fair.
So them eight-leggeds.
So let's dive into Charlotte Motor Speedway. What do we know about this track headed in, Freeman? Is it a tough place to race? I know there's a lot of history here.
Yeah, definitely. So compared to Darlington, this is a much easier track to wrangle or master, if you will. It's a symmetric track. It's not, oblong like Darlington. It's not egg-shaped. It's something where there's a lot more momentum involved and similar grooves in both turns, unlike a Darlington. So what we know about this track, of course, yes, Memorial Day weekend is known for the 600-mile race. This is the longest race of the year in NASCAR from a length perspective. So the Coke 600 being, 100 to 200 miles longer than the average NASCAR race. So, there's a lot that can go down in that extra 100 miles. And it always shows that it just throws an extra wrinkle into the mix here adding more wear and tear, not only to the drivers, but also to the equipment.
Bucky, any additional insight here on the track? I know you did.
What I'm asking for out of you here is to explain what are the differences in preparation for a track like Darlington versus a track like Charlotte.
Yeah, that's a great question. So a big difference this week is going to be qualifying. So we talked about qualifying, not happening at all last week for any of the races. It changes this week. So tomorrow, of course, today being Saturday, tomorrow being Sunday, they go green at 6 o'clock Eastern in Charlotte. They're going to be qualifying around lunch tomorrow afternoon. So that qualifying will set the grid for Sunday's race. And then for the Wednesday race, we're going to do the same thing for the second Darlington race and invert the first 20. So the reason this changes the preparation is because most cars usually have a qualifying run and a race run. So depending on if the race is impounded or not, there's a lot of different preparation that goes into preparing your car for qualifying versus race ready. So this is a racetrack, again, that we're going to be, we have a lot more consistent notes on over the years and what the tire wear looks like. And I think a lot of cars will come out a lot quicker than they did compared to Darlington. From Sunday to Wednesday, those deltas and those first laps and the first few circuits were anywhere from a quarter to a half second faster. So
Really?
they were able to do a lot in that short period of time. Yeah.
It's not standard to do qualifying the same day of the race, is it?
No, sir. So that's something that's definitely we've tried it in the past. We've had that as a part of the schedule, but it's not traditionally something that they do every single week. And so traditionally, if there's a Sunday race, we're qualifying either Friday or Saturday, depending on how long the weekend is. So again, this is an adjustment for Corona that will definitely impact the results of the race.
You want to minimize variables in terms of exposure. So you have to come to the track Saturday and then you come back to the track Sunday. What did you do? Did you party? Did you go on down to the Sizzler, catch some grub? Who knows, right? So exactly. I understand why they're doing it. I think it is interesting though that the way you framed it with, we're tuning our cars for this qualifying and we're going to just burn some rubber and get ourselves to a good position there. And after that, it should be cruise control. I like that kind of breakdown of the differences there. That was great there.
Yeah, and with the competition caution, there's a little bit more room for wiggling. So a qualifying car setup is not going to be the best for a race day setup. So some of these back markers may take a shot at having a more qualified focused car in an effort to hope for a caution in the first few laps to go down pit road and put their car more in a race ready position. So you can always walk that line and go between the two, but that's something that I'm looking to have a big impact on this week compared to last week.
How does this affect the time period between qualifying and getting the car race ready? Like, how hard are they working there on that car?
Yeah, and I can't confirm this, but I believe this is an impound race. What an impound race is, after qualifying, your crew can't touch the car. So they can't change the tires, they can't change the setup. So I expect them, once they go on the track for qualifying, they will have what they need. They'll do very basic air pressure adjustments. But besides that, when they go with the on-track product Sunday at 2:00, they've got what they've got for the race on Sunday until they come down pit road.
So you don't want to blow your load, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So, if there's a driver that goes out and is spending harder time on their tires, burning up more rubber, they're starting the race on those tires. So they have a disadvantage the longer they go on qualifying. So again, a number of variables, look for that competition cost to kind of equalize. But again, there's a lot of factors that go into qualifying and considering that into the race on Sunday compared to it, not being a variable last week.
So is that why they're doing the race a little bit later, like in the evening, because of qualifying?
Yeah, so it's usually an evening race. And Memorial Day is also always known for the 600, so we always have Monday off. But again, this is a race that is known for starting in the day and finishing in the night. So a lot of change goes on to this race. Again, a lot of keeping up with the track. Don't look for the person who's leading the first 50 laps to be leading the last 50.
Well, and we normally have Monaco Grand Prix and we have the Indianapolis 500 as well, correct? So
usually, yeah.
Yeah, so all eyes are on NASCAR, and I think that's excellent. People are going to be fired up for this race. I'm going to be like 12 hot dogs deep. We're going to be riding.
That's right. I can't wait. And
the 12 by 12, dude, the 12 dogs, 12 beers.
I think I'm going to do it.
12 wide. I love it.
Yeah, it's the 12 by 12. Story of my life. That's actually the autobiography's title. 12 by 12.
Document that.
Yeah. Oh yes, I love it. So we're gonna get into our monkey knife fight picks, of course, here shortly. But I want to take a look at the odds overall, because I know you said some of the faster guys are probably going to be the favorites here. So it is interesting to look at. I am using VegasInsider.com as a source here, so it'll be interesting. Do you think the odds change much after qualifying tomorrow? So like if you're listening to this Saturday night and you might be getting better odds than some of these guys if you're putting your bets in tonight before the race, if you're doing regular betting and not DFS. So yeah, I mean, same could go for a monkey knife fight. These point changes might change on Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on. Yeah,
you're right on the nose there. I expect there to be some impact on odds, especially for the wins. If you see someone like a Blaney or Johnson or Byron, someone who's between that plus 1,000 plus 2,500, if they qualify in the top three, I expect them to jump a lot. Much like last weekend, we love the stats of what 85% of starters or winners start in the top 10. Very similar stat here at Charlotte. 75% of winners start in the top 10. So look for those front runners in qualifying to remain up front.
Okay. All right. So the odds real quick. The two favorites here are Kyle Busch at plus 600 and Martin Truex Jr. at plus 600. Bucky has both of them.
No, I don't have Truex.
Okay, my bad. I thought you had Truex too.
I only have the bad man.
So our hosts have the good guys.
Yeah. And not me. What?
Yeah. So I know earlier in the week you said Truex was your guy, right?
Yeah, Truex is my guy. So he won this race last year, and I think Toyota is really going to have some strength here. So we're analyzing last week's race a bit. You saw Toyota's really rise to the top at the end of the race. While some of that was strategy, some of it was long run. I think the Toyotas have that long run speed. You're going to see a lot less cautions here in a much longer race. Expect that center corner speed that the commentators are talking about to really prevail from the Toyotas as this race goes on.
Is this a testament to why a 2010 Toyota Camry still MSRP for like $19,000?
If you asked a Toyota executive, I think he or she would say yes.
Yeah, they drive very, very long time.
Yes, forever. So these guys are still on the track. They're gonna take another W. I think Toyota is gonna be in the winner's circle. I'm just trying to figure out who it's gonna be right now. I'm very high on Truex, but I think that even of course, Denny Hamlin always has a chance to win. Kyle Busch has the variable here of Chase Elliott. If Chase Elliott is having a bad day and he finds himself near Kyle Busch,
done.
Oh,
he's
not going to be as happy with that pick, right? So, you never know. There's some variables to keep in mind here, and there's always a chance for someone else to get wrapped up in that mess. So the web is tangling. I'm loving it, and NASCAR is building back up. I'm pumped.
And Levy, I know and you, Freeman, I know it's kind of morphing into a question and answer session for Freeman, but I have another question. I think it's interesting, having done this with you last weekend, you were very high on the Fords, right? So you said it would be a Ford that's going to win this. This weekend, you're saying we're thinking it's Toyota. Where do those adjustments come from in terms of your line of thinking?
Yeah, it's a combination of, like we always talk about, momentum, historical information, and just kind of going with the flow. So primarily looking at the race of the last few years, Truex Jr. has just done extremely well. He's won a couple of them. He's always been strong at Charlotte. And if you look at the trends from last week in a completely different racetrack, completely different kind of wear and tear on the vehicle, completely different setup, as the race went on and the longer runs were more prevalent, Toyotas became, they rose to the top. So it can be a combination of randomness and skills and just happenstance. But I think that there's something to say about these Toyotas being around at the end and being able to go multiple fuel stints without a caution and show success.
Bucky, you know what they say? Win on Sunday, sell on Monday, right, Freeman?
There's another one. I love it.
The sales of Toyota Camrys are skyrocketing when Denny Hamlin is hot, baby.
That Camry build.
Let's go. All right, so to go through some of the other odds here, Harvick, another guy running fast right now, plus 650. Chase Elliott, plus 750. I am pretty convinced that he would have won that race over Denny Hamlin last weekend. He was just flying out there. So I hate to see that wreck, but
Denny had it in the bag. Let's be honest here.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Can you remind us who won our pool last week? I heard you earlier, but I wanted to make sure I heard you right.
It was Bo.
Yeah, Brian Oliver won it, took it down with Harvick.
Nice.
Let's see. So Denny Hamlin is plus 1,000. I like that. Alex Bowman plus 1,000. Keselowski plus 900. Logano also plus 1,000. Any other like dark horses you like there? Jimmie Johnson plus 1,600. Anyone down the list, Freeman, that you got an eye on if you want to take a dart throw?
Yeah, if we're looking at a win, I have a Bowman feeling in my belly, man. So the Chicago race we went to last year, of course, that was his first win. He wins earlier this year at California. While both of those tracks are larger than Charlotte, I think that if you look at the Chevys, the creme de la creme right now are Hendrick Motorsports, and I think Bowman's leading that stable. But I think that both Bowman and Byron present good value if you're not going to go with the Toyota to take the W.
Never had a Bowman feeling in my stomach before, so you'll have to tell me what that's like.
Yeah, I'll send you some stuff to make it feel right. It's what's in the water up here in Chicago, I guess.
Yeah, that dirty water.
I love it, man. Should we get into some of our monkey knife fight picks for today?
Yeah, let's jump in. And while we're pulling up Monkey Knife Fight, I know we talked about DraftKings a little bit last week. Rather than kind of going through things and picking driver for driver, really what I have the most challenge in doing is picking out the middle of my lineup. When I'm looking at the top of it, I'm going to go very heavy on Truex this week as my front runner. When I'm looking for two value picks to fill the middle and bottom middle, I would pick two from the Newman, Reddick, Buescher, Almirola, or Christopher Bell crew. So that's 5 different drivers. Picking 2 of those will give you good value. I think they'll qualify middle of the pack and continue to, if not maintain position. Someone like a Newman, Almirola, or Bell are going to definitely, be able to climb the ladder from their starting position.
I like it, man. I think I did all right last week in DraftKings based on some of those dark throws you were giving out.
Great.
For some reason, my window is not opening on Monkey Knife Fight, so I'm just going to go through them. We've got it limited to what, 4 picks so far?
There's a ton of contests, but so we don't lull you to sleep. We picked 3 or 4 of them. Of course, the 12Xer for Levy, the Levy special. We have to go in for that.
Gotta
one.
Have it.
A couple other head-to-head. So I'm excited to dive into these instead of really hedging my bets and diversifying and playing over strategizing. I went in heavier on 4 and didn't contradict myself as much.
We're calling that contest the Levy pack of donuts, by the way.
Dude, I got 5 out of 6 last week. I was so close, man.
So close. You're like a
Levy pack
off.
of donuts.
We got a shout out from Victor. Thanks for joining us here. He says he chooses Ricky Bobby. Doesn't know much about NASCAR there.
Oh yeah, Ricky races in the Canadian NASCAR league. I think still he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's got a cougar on the loose. Yeah, no, Victor, hop in the pool, man. It's a very good temperature. It's very moderate, and we're asking Alex questions. He's just feeding us with information, and it's the only thing you can watch tomorrow. So you better just pay attention. All right, Victor.
I love it. All right, so I am finally able to share my screen here. So I'm going to pull up the Monkey Knife Fight now. If you guys have never played Monkey Knife Fight before, make sure you're following our link to make a deposit. And if you use the code FOCUSED when you check out, when you deposit $50, you'll get $50 for free as well. Or you can just follow the link in the description. So we're starting out here, Freeman. You've got, I believe, Busch versus Logano.
Yeah, first one on the far left. I got Busch, Harvick in a more or less selection. Got it.
Okay, so if you've never played before, it is more or less in terms of fantasy points. Fantasy points are determined by you getting 1/10 of a point for every lap led, and then you're going to get 20 points for first place, 19 for second, all the way down through 1 point for 20th place. So again, if you're watching this on Saturday night, things could definitely change on Sunday morning or afternoon after qualifying. So keep an eye on that if you want to get your picks in now and then maybe adjust in the morning or in the afternoon tomorrow, Sunday before the race. That would be good as well. But what do you got here? Busch?
Yeah.
Set at 19.5, Harvick at 18.5.
All right, we're going over. I'm going to make it nice and easy. We're going more on both of these guys. I think, again, if we have 100 miles of extra racing in this race, we're going to have more individuals to lead laps. I think there's going to be some jostling for position. While I think Toto is still going to prevail in the winner's circle, I think we're going to have a lot of competition at top 5 and 7 and a lot of lead changes. So I'm going to go more on both of these guys, and I feel pretty confident about this one for Sunday tomorrow.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
Team Buck right there.
I love it. So just so you guys can see here, you can select. It's pretty easy at the bottom, however much you want to put in here. I'm just going to put in 10. So we hit both of those. We're getting 3x our money. So 10 to win 30. It's so simple.
Yep, and it confirms it on there for you, nice in the bottom, nice and easy too. So you know what you're putting in, know what you're getting out, and no question about it.
I saw they got a little golf on here too. I might have to dabble with the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning golf tourney.
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna follow you on that one. So I'll help you out with NASCAR. You let me know what you do with some golf.
Perfect. All right. So next up we got, what do we have? A rapid fire.
Let's go for the big boy. Let's go 12. Let's go for the Levy box of donuts.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get some excitement here.
I'm trying to get hungry.
All right. So I got 40 left in the account. So we're gonna go over on Kyle Busch.
Yep.
Or more, I should say, and more on Harvick as well, correct?
I'm staying true to those two, and this is where I'm gonna kind of go off script. So I think going into the weekend, I think Joey Logano, someone's going to have a consistent race, but people are going to get mixed up in junk. And I see Joey Logano as someone who's kind of outside of the top 7-8 drivers. He's finding himself in the middle of the wash, if you will, someone that gets wrapped up in someone else's mess. So I'm going to go with less for Joey Logano, expecting him to be caught up in someone else's mess. Just again, gut feeling going into tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough. And set at the same point total here as Truex Jr. at 16.5. If I know you, I know you're taking more.
Oh, that's more. That's easy peasy, especially if we're picking him to take a W home, not even mentioning a number of the laps he could lead in route to that W.
All right, I dig it, man. So last one, Chase Elliott.
Yeah. What are you thinking going into it? You feeling Chase having a good day ahead of him?
Well, I mean, after that middle finger that he gave to Kyle Busch, I feel like he's going to come out of the gates hot here. And I could see him, of course, depending on pole position and where he qualifies, I could see him leading a good chunk of the laps here, and a top 10 finish is pretty much a lock. It'd be a top 5 finish if he was donning the Hooters orange, but I don't believe he is. So I will take the over, but I'm obviously picking whatever you tell me to.
So this is the hardest one I had, man. What do you think, Bucky?
Well, for me, it comes down to that like revenge game mentality, which in a sport like basketball, you can't wreck a multi-million-dollar vehicle, right?
Legally.
So the way that I think about it is, when you're that pissed off, if you can't channel that and it's just pure raw aggression, that's usually not a good thing on the racetrack in terms of how tactical you are doing what you need to do. You're going for blood, and usually blood on a NASCAR track does not result in a victory. I'm going to go less personally.
Okay, I like the perspective. I was thinking something very similar going into it. Like if he does not have a winning car and he has the opportunity to ruin Kyle Busch's day, I think he will. He's gonna do it. There's no reason for him not to if he wants to retaliate. And again, that's another variable that's thrown into the mix here. I initially clicked more, but when I went down there and clicked that money and I hit submit, I went less for Elliott and Logano.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here we go, Levy. This is gonna be up to you. This is gonna be up to you. Where do you see Elliott falling?
Listen, I feel like he raced really well last week, and I think he's going to come out fired up. So what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to put less, even though it crushes my soul to put less, but I'm definitely going to hedge my bet here. So instead of putting in 10 down, I'm only going to put 5. So 560.
And this is a great one to hedge your bets on, because it's 12 Xer. So you can throw $5 at a couple of them, and you have the chance to really head it big. So I think if you're gonna contradict yourself and you're gonna hedge your bets at all, the 12 Xer is the one to play around with for sure.
Yeah, that Levy sack of donuts, man.
That's it, man. I'm a sucker for this. I can't not do it.
I know, I love it too, and especially I like this week with the 5 racers that you are completely aware of. You know the trends, you know what's going on. Of course, you got Busch in there with Elliott. It's great. I mean, it's pure drama in a monkey knife fight contest.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to be crazy is when you have it's bound to happen. We'll look at Talladega or one of these super speedway races where you pick more or less or rapid fire and have 3 drivers, and the 3 that you picked or didn't pick are going to be out in the first 30 laps. You're going to be, just strutting across the finish line. So I expect it to be in the future. With this race this week, not going to happen. But as the weeks progress and you see some tracks that are more known for big crashes, it's going to be fun to know who's going to be winning these matchups well before the race is over, I think. Yeah,
I actually just realized that we confirmed this a week ago, but I forgot. I thought we were going to beat the system here, but I can't even enter another 12x1. So I kind of just screwed myself there, because now I'm betting against my boy Chase Elliott, and it doesn't feel right. I feel dirty. I feel like I just.
No, well, I'll check back with our guys in a little bit. I think it might reopen.
All right, so what do we got next? What are we diving into? Which contest?
All right, so after the 12x, let's look at the more or less. This is a 3x, I believe, with Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano.
More or less.
We need to get 3 of 3.
Yep.
3. Here we go.
There. Oh, other one.
Other one?
Yeah, 3.5x.
There it is.
I like the one where you can get 3 out of 4, so you don't have to be perfect.
That's the next one we have. Or wait, is it? No, it's not. Well, we'll pick one of those and see how it goes, and we'll add that to the mix here. So, looking at this one here, this is just a smaller sample size of the 12X, and I'm going to stay true to my numbers here. I think Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, both lead laps, both have top 5 finishes, achieved their numbers as needed. Joey Logano, someone that I don't think that he's going to have a day, if you will, and definitely going to go less on him.
Yep, no hot dogs.
0 hot dogs.
All right, so I'm gonna throw 10 bones on that one, so that'll win me 35. I'm feeling a clean sweep. All right, what's your 4th official play of the day?
My 4th one is the rapid fire with Kyle Busch. No, it's a 4-driver rapid fire. Try that next one.
This
Kyle Busch, Logano, no, it's not the 8 one.
This one.
There it is.
2.2.
Yeah,
right,
so
cool.
this one presents some fun questions. So I think the hardest pick out of this one is Busch Harvick, and especially with the Harvick plus 1.5, or what is that? Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, the 1.5 favorite. Like, create a pause for me.
Underdog.
Say it again.
Harvick's a 1.5 underdog here.
Yeah,
Yep.
So he has a 1.5 in his pocket. Again, I think Martin Truex Jr. is going to win this race. If he doesn't, I think Busch or Hamlin will. So I'm going to go with the winner because I assume the winner is going to lead more laps. I think he's going to be fast out of the gates and be able to keep up with the track, unlike a lot of other drivers over the years. I'm going to go Busch here, even though he does have a 1.5 deficit.
Okay, I dig it. What about Logano or Truex Jr.? I know you're going Truex, right?
Easy peasy. Yeah, you don't even have to ask me on that one.
All right, so for this one, I'm going to put in 10 to win 22. Straight up the gut. I'm going to make you do a bonus one here, though.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to do a bonus. I dig the 3 out of 4 contests. So these are more or less 2.5x your buy-in. Pretty straight up the gut here. So we're going to stay with more and more on Harvick and Busch, correct?
So let me ask you this. How do you, if you know you only need 3 out of the 4, are you trying to pick all 4 winners, or are you trying to hedge your bet against something else? Like if you're looking at this as just your everyday fan.
So I'm going to hedge it. I'm going to hedge it here. And I'm going to go Logano with I'm just going to hedge everything. I'm putting it all on tilt.
So what does that mean? You're gonna go over on everything, more on everything?
No, I'm going less on Busch and Harvick, more on Logano, less on Truex.
Okay.
I'm gonna take an opposite approach here. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go more on everything because I do believe Busch and Harvick are gonna have more, and high on Truex. So I'm gonna go Logano. I think this is the one that he.
I like that. I like the way you're thinking about that because, again, if we feel confident about 2 of the 4 to achieve, and then we're kind of toss-ups, when you have power like Logano and Truex, someone's going to rise to the top, and they have they have the backing of very large teams, and I think it's smart to go more on both of those guys when they are truly a toss-up.
I just like keeping people on their toes here, Alex.
Entertainment for the people.
I went complete opposites of everything.
So I'm gonna hold off on the last $10 in my account because I'm gonna wait until after qualifying tomorrow. So I'm gonna be smart here. I'm gonna do some bankroll management 101. So deposited 50, only played with 40, and I hate the fact that I bet against Chase Elliott. I don't feel great about that.
Yeah, Chase.
It feels dirty to bet against Chase.
Yeah, it's Chase.
Hey, well, here's the thing. I was always told if you bet against your favorite driver, even if they do win and you don't make the money, you still got a W. So you're getting paid in some fashion.
Yeah, it's the bettor's ransom. That's all that is.
True.
It's like the prisoner's dilemma, right?
Yeah, prisoner's dilemma, Stockholm syndrome, all those buzzwords. I've used those a lot in my daily stand-ups.
On Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, buzzword.
Yeah, buzz.
Hey, before we finish up, let's just dive into some stats real quick on history here at Charlotte. Who are the guys? If you're just listening to this, and you've never played Monkey Knife Fight, you don't play DraftKings, whatever, you're just a gambler, you want to throw some money on the race, who are the guys that historically, who are the top 10 guys at this track?
Yeah, so it's going to depend on who you're going to use for their algorithm for who's the best of the best. But if you're looking over the last handful of races, 10, 15 races, Harvick is going to rise to the top every single race, every single category, no matter what you look at from a wins, top 5, top 10s perspective, and even polls. But then from there is when it gets kind of iffy, just depending on how much of a sample size you use for data. So Joey Logano has had consistency here, but again, you can't always be the best of the best. Joey Logano is someone who I think is suffering kind of more of a Jimmie Johnson spell where he's kind of going downhill, if you will. While Joey Logano has strong numbers here and historical success, I don't think he's going to continue to reign strong. But continuing on the list, a Bowman, a Hamlin, an Elliott, a Keselowski, those are some of the top 5, 6 drivers ranking based on driver rating over the past few years here. So look for those guys to achieve really strong.
We didn't talk about Keselowski at all, but I have a pretty decent feeling on him. He's at 900 right now. I'm going to put a little bit on him.
He's been a sleeper, man. He led the race a lot on Sunday last week at Darlington. Then he kind of puttered off after leading a lot of laps, and those last 2 or 3 positions on Sunday is what cost Levy his 12x. So I think again Keselowski has a potential to have a really strong day, but I don't think that the Fords are going to be as strong from Penske as they are from Stewart-Haas.
It's the Toyota Camry. That's what we're going with this week.
We're going Denny Hamlin. I mean, they were afraid to even put Denny Hamlin in the contest this week because he's so hot right now.
He's hot in all worlds, virtual, real. Like he's on a tear. So if you're playing momentum here, like we do a lot, Denny has a lot going for him. He's hanging loose, nothing to worry about. He's doing well.
Well, and also FedEx is doing a great job delivering packages all across this world.
Oh yes.
Jimmy Jam, if yes, you can gladly ask a question here. We're going to be on for a few more minutes, so get that question here in the comments quickly. But yeah, I'm excited about Denny Hamlin. I hope he wins again. I know, Bucky, you're not his biggest fan, but that's my guy.
If Denny wins tomorrow, he becomes my championship favorite at that moment. If Denny wins tomorrow, he's my championship favorite, and I'll mark my words, and he will be he'll be someone I will be watching for the rest of the year.
Well, let's get all 3 of our picks. Who are we picking to win the race? Straight up, we'll go to Levy first.
You're gonna go to me first, huh?
That's right.
I am gonna go out on a limb here. I almost want to say Keselowski because I feel like he was doing really well. Even on Sunday last week, I wish we got like more fractional points for top 3 laps led. He was.
Yeah, no need to cry about it there, pal. Just continue with your pick.
But here we go. I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott. I'm looking through the orange tinted glasses as usual, even though he's not donning the Hooters orange this week.
I'm wondering how many times you can say that.
I know. I just really.
Who's his sponsor again?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
gonna go. He's fired up. He was letting the bird fly.
He's loose. He's hanging. I don't hate that pick. I think he's someone again. I think that this momentum could hurt or help him, and we'll find out tomorrow. So I don't hate your pick. When I'm looking at who I'm going with, I've said it since what 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. Truex. Truex is going to take a W for me.
All right, I dig it, Bucky.
Right. I'm not going to disagree with Alex here. I'm going to go with Martin Truex. I've liked what I've seen of him. He's just got pop, and I think that pop combined with just a little bit of an easier track this week is going to lead to success. He's just been nipping at the bud. He's like the golden retriever at your heels every time that you're trying to take a step. He's finally going to get in front of you this time. So I think Martin Truex, for me, he's my favorite, not my favorite racer. We all know that's Matty Kenseth. He's not looking so hot right now, just middle of the pack. I'm going to go Truex.
I like your pick, Bucky. That's great analysis.
I'm gonna put a nickel on each Elliott and Hamlin just because I love Denny. Those are my guys I'm cheering for every week.
It's not that I hate him. I want to
know if we go back since we started throwing down a little bit of coin on NASCAR, if we would have bet Hamlin and Elliott to win the race, $10 every race, how much would be up or down? I'm going to go do that research. I'm going to report back to you because I think we would be up because the odds makers we're not treating them like we're not respecting them last year. They were really showing up. So I think that'd be a cool little experiment to look at.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt we'd be up because I gravitated towards Chase naturally because of our sponsor, but Denny was my guy. I kind of picked from the beginning, so I'm in on Denny.
Love it.
All right, so if you're just coming across our channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe, give us a like on the video, all that good stuff, and come play on Monkey Knife Fight with us. This has been fun.
We have a question.
We do have a question.
It's a great question.
And I'm really wanting to answer this.
Go ahead.
I got to hear Bucky's take.
So thank you for liking the videos. We love you too. Look, your neighbor has been dumping rubbish in your garden. I'm assuming you're from the United Kingdom or Auckland, New Zealand, perhaps. If your neighbor is dumping rubbish in your garden, that is your sanctuary. There is absolutely no reason that any individual should cross that boundary and dispose of anything, let alone rubbish, in your garden. All right. Lord knows it's probably infiltrating your tomatoes. You might have a couple of corn stalks up. I've seen some beautiful British gardens, and it is a sight to behold, and it is one of the things that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Rubbish just sounds dirtier than garbage.
Way more dirty.
Oh.
Rubbish sounds like the worst of the worst. And so here's the thing. Payback. It's acceptable to shit in their lawn, but I think that's taking the real easy out. Okay. Of course, we can all shit on each other's lawns. This world would be full of shit on lawns. But what you need to do is one up this man. Here's what you do. You take all of your rubbish and you simply leave it in a spot like your rubbish can. And you just let it marinate in there for a long time. But that's phase one. Okay, so phase one, marinate your rubbish for quite a long time. Maybe purchase a new rubbish bin and throw it all in there. And this is just a supplementary rubbish bin. It's not even a real one. You're still acting like you're taking your rubbish out, but in reality, you're not. You're collecting it. You're letting it marinate. That's step one. Step two, ants. You collect a shitload of ants. Okay. Yeah. And you make sure that you have so many ants, not only the ants preying on your marinating rubbish, a boatload of ants that you then deploy on your enemy's garden. Okay. Oh. You basically let them bastards run down the walls into that infrastructure and just run rampant. And then after 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks time, you empty all of your rubbish all over their
second wave of ants.
Yes.
And there's your second wave of ants. And all of a sudden their house is overrun with ants. And they can't even breathe, let alone eat a meal of food.
And they'll instantly think back to the rubbish they put on your garden, no question asked.
Exactly.
And never do it again.
Yeah, case in point, ants, rubbish marinade, throw it over, game over. You have ants everywhere, and you're basically fucked.
Yeah, don't let your neighbors disrespect your garden, Jimmy.
Never, Jimmy. Ever.
That's right, Jimmy.
It's your garden.
Not only do we have fire DFS picks, but we've got the answers to your rubbish problems.
I had a lot of thoughts on that. Thank you for entertaining.
Great question, Jimmy. Thanks for coming by.
Yes, appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe. And
let's go, Truex.
Yes, let's go. All right, good luck, Coca-Cola 600. Enjoy the race, and thanks for tuning in as always.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you guys.